Okay, we are well and truly into the swing here on day one in Brazil. And there's a look at the World Series table with just the one leg down over in Dubai just before Christmas, where Australia got the better of Russia in the final there. New Zealand, by their standards, having a fairly ordinary tournament in the desert. Speaking of New Zealand, I'm joined by one of their best ever women's players in the form of Melody Robinson, and we've got ourselves a little pearler.
This is a great game, isn't it? Because obviously they're in the same pool as Ireland and Australia. Fiji went down to Australia earlier in the day. Canada looked very strong indeed. The last time these two met in Dubai, don't forget, it was Fiji who came on top, their first ever victory over the Canadian girls.
They didn't just finish on top, they turned in some of the best women's sevens I've ever seen. They were magic in the UAE, and this is how they line up against the Canadians. And as always, the likes of Paquin and Kish give them a go forward. Bianca Farella and Landry so dangerous. And then for Fiji, well, they've got some weapons of their own.
Well, for a start, they haven't changed their starting seven from that first match, and that's because I believe Chris Cracknell would say to his girls, you have to redeem yourself from that match, because even though they lost to Australia, who is a very strong team, they gave a lot of ball away with some really poor passes. We know that they love that offload game, and they're a magical team. They play a style like no other, but the decisions they were making, they were passing at the wrong time.
There is the number 3 for Canada, Karen Paquin, so easy to pick out with the head taped up. Beatrice Benvenuti out of Italy is our referee for this one. Pool A, Canada v Fiji. And this is going to be an excellent matchup. Quality on both sides. Canada get us off and going and tapping it back. There is Russell. Making a tackle is Nangasau for Fiji. And again, Russell. Kish on the near side. Kish. She finds Mileski. Mileski palms off a couple. Landry. Landry 5 short for Canada. Fiji in defence is terrific. They've tapped and gone super quick, and making a shot there was Paquin. Ball staying with the Fijians for the moment. Some space to move here via Nangasau. Oh, she's caught the touchline. The chalk has been fluffed up, and that puts an end to that.
Gee, that would have been a touch and go call, that. Yes, she was skirting with the sideline, there was no doubt. But goodness gracious. Major mistake from Nangasau. She's an experienced player, she should know better than that. It was a 2-on-1 situation. They really manipulated the short side well.
Kish goes up and is brought down by Nangasau. Paquin. She's sent back a couple of metres but retains possession well. Russell. Russell stands and now offloads for Kish. That might have been a touch high from Naya Mbasali, and it was.
Yeah, it's difficult sometimes because a lot of the times the attacking players are falling down into the contact, and so it's very easy to be above that collar line.
Landry, Kish, their playmakers, all that had trouble written all over it, but it's going to fall nicely here for Canada. And breaking clear is Bianca Farella. Bianca Farella, that is beautiful. Superb individual effort there from Bianca Farella.
Wonderful, fabulous Varela. Good to see her back from injury as well. She stepped back on the inside initially, and then you can see the sweep there. Rongitha, the captain for Fiji, she didn't have enough pace to stay with Varela, who just sort of zigzagged her way through to that try there.
Landry, and conversion is good. That makes it Canada 7, Fiji 0.
Just 23 years old, Varela. She debuted back in 2012, so she's been around for quite some time.
Landry. Taking it, there is Nangasao. Tap back to Nangasao. Now she dips into the tackle of Paquin. She's not going to miss a shot. And now Canada force the issue on Fijiana. They're going to make him pay here, I think, Canada. Kish pops to Landry. Sharp feet of Landry. She's held up there. And does extremely well to get to the turf. Kish. Burrowing through his Molesky. Oh, and it's come forward at the back of the ruck.
Yeah, Fiji haven't had much of the pill yet, have they? And when they have had it, they've lost it just because they're a little bit too relaxed, perhaps. I mean, that's the way Fijiana play, no doubt about that.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Rongitha. Now Riwai. Kicking ahead is Nangasao. Nangasao. Oh, the bounce is awful for Nangasao. The option wasn't too bad. Here's the debutant, Nayo Mbasali. And, well, it's not a bad result for Fijiana, Mel.
Yeah, I did like that option. Nangasao, she comes from a football background as well. A lot of these Fijiana girls do. And it was perfectly placed. It's just that little bounce didn't quite favour her. That was what was it, a tight head in a sevens game? Pretty impressive.
Scooting out the side for Canada. Kish. There's the try scorer, Varela. Letting Paquin do the hard work down that channel. 5 metre channel, out it comes. Canada will be able to tap and go here.
Go 10, go on the line, please. It's offside. Okay. Here, please.
So just the one try after 6.5 minutes of action, and that's not straight. Oh, that's letting Fijiana off the hook there. The one try going to Bianca Varela.
You know, sometimes when you're at this point, you know you've got a lot of sevens ahead of you, don't you? So concentration can be a little hot and cold.
Bind. Set.
Great hands from Riwai. Taking for a scoot here is Tisolo. Oh, ball in one hand. And getting the pass away to Tinai. Tinai can move. Tinai's going to take it all the way and then loop it back to Ana Maria Rongitha. That is Fiji doing what Fiji do so well.
Yeah, that is the Fiji we know and love, that crack that we so often see on the outside there. Tinai, and always Geetha is backing up on the inside. Look, she didn't even have to pass the ball. She decided to anyway. The little captain under the posts. And this makes this match very interesting indeed.
All square at half time after that try to Rongitha. It is one converted try apiece.
The 4 has been on, we haven't gone to it once, right? So let's look for the 4, the first opportunity we get. We got a backside shoulder check, listen for it. That backside's got to get up and call for it too, okay? All right, once we go down there, they're in 6 to 7 speed. You've got that 6 beat for speed, all right? So you're getting that ball out early towards this. Okay?
With Cyclone Winston hitting Fiji earlier today, no doubt that try will do a little something to lift the spirits of those back in Fiji. Good news that the women found out ahead of play today that not too much damage, no family or friends in any real danger, which is great to hear because it's a monster cyclone looming in the Pacific.
Yeah, one of the biggest ever, I hear. Yeah, it is good news because that's got to be weighing on these ladies' minds as well. They're such great family people. You go to Fiji, you see that, don't you?
Fiji happy to concede the free kick back on halfway after the restart didn't go the 10. A try that Fiji scored was only the second time they'd had possession of the ball inside Canada's half in that first 7 minutes of action. So just goes to show if they get into that red zone, you're in trouble. Here's Russell for Canada. Getting back and making the tackle for Fiji is the try scorer, Rongitha.
Gee, that was great scrambling defence there from Fijiana because it was pretty much 3 players on 1 defender because Nagato had come in, outside in. They really worked hard to push themselves over, cover all the red jerseys that were out there on attack.
Well, Kish read that perfectly and has snaffled Fijiana's ball. Russell throws off the tackle of Nagato. Here come Canada. Here come Canada through the lady who's enjoyed day 1 action here in the number 1, Brittany Benn. She's in again. And there are our first points of the second half.
Yeah, a big high five from her teammates for Brittany Benn. Nice pass to Corella, back on the inside, backing up. Tackle missed, 1-on-1 by T-Knight. And, you know, they turned that ball over at the line-out. Fijiana were confused. They didn't know where they were throwing it. Canada won it. And, you know, the Canadian girls are really keeping their minds on the job, aren't they? Really focused and everything they do, quite accurate as well.
Kick's no good from Ghislaine Landry. So the score stays at 12-7 to Canada. going without it there was Nangasau, usually such a reliable set of hands. And here's Molesky. Molesky. Eventually brought down by Nangasau. Kish. Kish delays a pass for Farella, who's tackled there by Ravisa. We're going to go all the way back. High tackles are cool.
Yeah, not only Fijiana dropping a bit of ball, but they're giving away penalties too. And Canada being, you know, the 5 points ahead, are quite happy to slow the game down, reorganise, communicate.
Molesky. Goes to Landry, and now across to Paquin, who has a head of steam up, and offloads back to Landry. But our assistant referees found a little tap forward there. So you'll see our ref, Beatrice Benvenuti, in the white skins, and that was a directive after a lot of consultation was done between World Rugby and local health authorities, the World Health Organization, in an effort to allay fears around the mosquitoes here in Brazil that are causing a few dramas here and there.
Yeah, all the teams are fully up to date about the threat of the virus, and we've all been given advice as to the right precautions. So if you want to choose to wear skins out there, they've made an exception to law 4 to allow that.
There's the action coming up. Russia v USA, then New Zealand v Spain, England, France, Japan and Brazil. You are dialed in to the HSBC World Rugby Women's 7 Series from Sao Paulo. We are at the Arena Bureri, around about 60 minutes from the heart of Sao Paulo, this big bustling city. Each of the 12 teams here have enjoyed their time. There is Beatrice Benvenuti with the white skins on.
This could be probably one of the slowest games we've actually had today in terms of stops and starts, isn't it? And I'm sure that's because right now that sun is beating down and it's like a 38-degree sauna.
12-7 the score. Fiji have been deprived of field position, but find themselves well within striking distance. Great job there of hanging on to it was Ravisa, and that's scrappy. It's popped up, been knocked on. Kish, Farella. Pinned down, Molesky. She's made some great inroads in tight. Here goes Ben. Ben is tossed across the touchline. So Fiji hanging in there, and now broken field, which is what they just love. Scooting wide is Vondo, and eventually it's a knocked on.
Look, you can see what they're trying to do. So one wraps and they've got another available on the inside. Your ball player just holds it up. I think that, you know, it's a few of these teams like Canada that would analyse them. They know what they want to do. They want to play the offload game, so they're crowding them at that area. It just means it's very difficult to get a pass away accurately.
Shove coming from Fiji, but the ball pops out for Canada, and that's about as easy as it gets for Landry. She lands the killer blow against the Fijians. And 10 times out of 10, Landry's going to get you in that part of the field.
Absolutely, Landry knows how to score tries. This is her third in Sao Paulo so far. And pretty much, there were 3 Fijiana defenders. None of them took her because she's elusive. Carved her way through. Nicely done from the girl from Toronto Scottish Club.
It's a low conversion attempt, and it's good. Canada kicking clear here against Fiji. They're up by 12. Chasing Woodman. Woodman racks up her points via 5-pointers. Landry has got a terrific all-round game. Taken there by Tisolo. Starter step from Nangasau, who's been busy, some good, some bad. Trying to free the pass was the little live wire, Ravisa. Fortunately for her, it's fallen into the arms of the Canadians. Russell.
I think this Fijiana team, they need to vary up when they offload and that choice, because at the moment they're trying to push the pass all the time and they actually have to take it into contact, you know, once every so often, especially if that pass is just not on.
It's all down to points. Differential now for the Fijians. That one out in front of Ravisa. Just what Mel Robinson was talking about right there, the offload not on. It's come loose, but it won't hurt them on that occasion as Jankish concedes a penalty for not releasing. And now Fiji again with a chance. Landry in and away. That's a huge step. How about the step on Landry?
And let's give a little bit of credit to Kelly Russell, who stayed in that lazy sort of pocket line of the Fijiana ball. She kicked it back. Landry was there, and look at that, just brushed off Tisolo. Very easy for her to finish that off. She's had a good game in this one.
Landry starting to let her presence be known here at the Arena Bureri. Hitting the straps in Brazil. So too are her team. They are winners against Fiji, 24 points to 7.